I'm Lindsay Sin, Deputy Secretary for Women Veterans Affairs here at the California Department of Veterans Affairs. And today you are attending our webinars that we do. We do these every other month. So today, July 11th, normally we do them on the first Monday of the month, but last Monday we were all celebrating our Independence Day and setting off lots of fireworks and eating too much. So instead we've taken the call a week later. We will be doing the same thing for our next call, which will be September 12th, Monday at 11 a.m. because the first September of the month is Labor Day. So we'll do these calls every other month, typically on the first Monday of the month, unless otherwise scheduled because of a holiday, and we'll let you know in plenty of time when that call is going to happen and what our next topic will be. So thank you very much for joining us. We are using GoToMeeting software this time for the first time. We've been previously using a different software program but had some glitches. So we're going to try this. So far so good. Hopefully we won't run into any issues. If we do, then try and call back in, or just know that we are recording this session so that you can always access our previously recorded webinars from our website. In order to do that, go to calvet.ca.gov/women veterans, and then from there select our Around California button, and then from there select our statewide monthly webinars, and then you can get more information. You can also email us at womenveterans@calvet.ca.gov or call us at 916-653-1402. So to start the call today, we have two guests that will be presenting. They're from our CalHR, which is California Department of Human Resources, and this is really about how to get a state job and how to help veterans, or if you're a veteran looking for a job, the best and most effective way to apply for state service and then to be able to secure that job. These folks, Linnea Trejo and Danny G, are regular presenters for the CalHR series. They do this through in-person workshops here at our department and across other departments, and have some really great information to share with you today. Additionally, Jolene Karikas, who is the analyst here in the Women Vets Division, and myself will share some additional information at the end of the webinar, just based on our personal experiences in state service and a few things that our staff have trained on. And finally, we'll plan to take this presentation all the way till 11 o'clock. Right around 10:45, we're going to go ahead and wrap up most of the presentation so that people can ask questions. So please hold your questions till the end if you can. But if you are using the GoToMeeting software, then you can also ask a question on our chat window. And then that way you can ask that anytime, and we can make sure to answer that question during our Q&A session. And so finally, just a few updates from CalVet and what the Women Veterans Division is up to. We have a new resource book out this year. This is for all veterans to utilize. These resource books are great pieces of information about all of the state benefits and federal benefits that veterans may be eligible for here in California. So we really encourage you to get your hands on a state resource book, which is available from PDF from our website, calvet.ca.gov, or you can also contact us and we can send you one. So please let us know if you're interested in that. Additionally, for the division, we are now working with a statewide team of volunteers. We have formed what's called the California Women Veterans Leadership Council. This council is made up of volunteers of women veterans all throughout California, representing different geographical locations, all areas of service, all backgrounds. And the intention here is that we work together as a team to advance the needs for women veterans, raise awareness about what it is to be a woman veteran here in California, what our needs are, what our issues are, what's working, what's not working, and to really provide better communication across all of the geographic parts of California. So far the Leadership Council has about 12 members. I'm serving as an advisor to the council. Army OneSource is actually administering the group so that we can make sure that this continues as a really solid council going forward. And we plan to educate ourselves on women veterans issues as a collective body, and then take issues that come out of that and start acting on them. So if you have more questions about the council, please contact us again. via email or phone number, and we can give you lots more information. If you're interested in participating, there may be an opportunity to do that as well. We will be rotating out members regularly, just so that we can get new ideas and new experiences in there. So please connect with us if you want more information. Okay, so with that, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to introduce our two presenters and pass everything over to them so that they can say hello and begin their presentation. So we have Linnea Trejo and Danny G from the California Department of Human Resources. Thank you so much to both of you for agreeing to do this webinar presentation. We're always happy to deliver information to our women veterans here in California. So I'm going to go ahead and pass the presenter role over to you and let you both get started.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Linnea Trejo, and I'm the statewide workforce and recruitment manager here at CalHR. And I wanted to just go over a little bit of, let's see, are we on the right slide? Overview. Did you? Hold on, we're having tech. Okay, here we go. All right. Our civil service right now, currently we have about 2,000 different classifications in the state of California, and we are working on streamlining some of those classifications to help future employees get a better idea of what they can apply to, and that is something that we're currently doing. Importance of establishing an online profile is since 2016, January 2016, we just established CalCareers online application, which is helps everybody be more faster in regards to application into the state service. I know Danny G is going to go over details in regards to the examination and hiring process and additional resources available. We are the largest employer in California. We have approximately 220,000 Californians employed, an amazing salary and benefit package, and I noticed that you have a lot of our great, I love the website, Calvet website. You have a lot of jobs geographically listed, and we have opportunities up and down the state of California. Some of our salary and benefit packages, something that we offer and that I'd like to talk about when we're talking to future employees is the stability we offer. Coming into certain classifications, we really support training and development of our staff to help them create a lifelong learning support in their career growth. We have amazing pension, retirement benefits, and you can retire at age 52 with just 5 years of state services. And the longer you work, the greater the benefit. We have paid leave, insurance, amazing Saving Plus opportunities, insurance, and one thing I like to talk about, and I think it's very helpful as a woman, is work-life balance. Having the opportunity to balance your life and the things that you have going outside of work with your career is just a huge benefit. I'm kind of talking fast, so if anybody has any questions, please stop me. Women veterans, and we looked at your data and employment, as we know, that women veterans right now management occupations at a higher rate, and we currently represent higher employment of women in state services more than the state labor force. And that is from our data from our annual census of employee in state of California Civil Service. With that, I'd like to introduce you to Danny G, and he's going to be presenting. Oops, maybe not. Not working. There we go. He's going to talk about how to get started and a state hiring process. Again, thank you so much for having CalHR, and we look forward to working with you all anywhere we can.
Thank you, Linnea. I appreciate it. So my name is Danny G. I'm the statewide recruiter for the Department of Human Resources. Before I get started, I want to thank everyone for joining us today, and thank you for our veterans that are on the phone. We appreciate your service. So So to cover how to get started, the state's hiring process is a merit-based system conducted in 3 steps. And what you're going to need to do first and foremost is create a Cal Career account. And in the next couple slides coming up, there's going to be a web address. It's www.jobs.ca.gov, where you can establish this Cal Career account. It's very important that you establish this account in order for you to be able to apply electronically, to take online examinations, to self-schedule yourself, to look up job announcements. This is all going to be located on the Cal Career account. And we'll go over that in more detail as we move forward. Second, you must take and pass an examination. So all state positions require you to take an examination prior to applying for the position, other than CEA positions and student vacancies. So just keep that in mind. You will need to find the exam, take the exam, and then once you pass the exam, you can apply for positions. So thirdly, you'll be applying for positions and participating in hiring interviews once you've taken and passed an exam. Oops, sorry about that. Okay, so some key points to the state service. We hire on a merit principle, so we want to hire the most qualified candidate for every position, and we use the rule of ranks of 1 through 3. So you always want to make sure that if you're doing an online training experience evaluation in the comfort of your own home, that you're really paying attention to those questions that are being asked of you. The reason why I say that is because recently I was taking an online examination at home, and there was a question that said, how many months of keyboard duties do you have? And I don't know why, but for some reason I changed it to years in my mind. And so I was, maybe going with, 12, 14 years. However, this particular position required 24 months of keyboarding duties to meet the minimum qualifications. So once I had completed the minimum qualifications questions, it did not let me continue because I didn't answer the question properly. You can go back and re-answer the minimum qualification question, so you're not stuck with this first try. If you don't pass the minimum qualifications on the first try, go back through and just verify your answers and make sure that you answer them properly. If not, go ahead and correct them and see if it lets you through the next time. If you continue to have problems, you can always contact our exams unit. I'll provide you that number at the end of the seminar here, and you can always call us Monday through Friday between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. One of our representatives will be happy to walk you through anything, any difficulties, any navigation that you might need help with, or any questions in regards to our jobs.ca.gov website for your Cal Career account. So just keep that in mind. Definitely pay attention when you're taking any exam, but especially the online exams. You get a little bit more relaxed because you're at home. There's no real nervousness. At least that holds true for me. Now apply for vacancies again once you have received a passing score for an examination. And then a good thing to keep in mind is placement on an eligibility list. So once you take an exam and pass, you'll be on an eligibility list. That does not guarantee you a job. It's at that point where you need to start applying for the job, and the way that you structure your application is going to be key to how many responses you get in regards to applications you're submitting. So this is the screen I was talking about creating a Cal Career account. At the bottom of the screen, you'll see the jobs.ca.gov website address. And if you haven't already done so, if you don't have a Cal Career account, you'll see create a new account in the circled red box, or under it's circled, create a new account. So you can click on that, create a new account, and once you create the account, when you log in, you're going to see welcome at the top of the page along with your name to follow. Underneath your name, there's going to be 5 tabs. Those 5 tabs are very important, and I'm going to go through each one of them briefly. So the exams tab is the first tab you'll recognize under your name, and that is exactly what that tab is, the exams tab. Once you click on it, open it, don't be alarmed. Right now it says it's under construction. I'm asking that they reword that because it seems like what I'm getting from callers is that they think when they click on that it's not working. It is actually working. There's just more to come. We're going to continue to improve this website as we go through the rest of the year, and that's why it's under construction, but it does work. So if you click on the exams tab and once you open it, it's going to there's a drop down there, and you can select the exam that you're interested in taking and then read the bulletin to see how this exam is being administered, whether it's going to be a online examination you could take online, or if you need to schedule it, what type of exam it is so you can participate. The second tab is your eligibilities tab. That's a great tab, and it's a great feature to upgrade from our last website. We did not have this on the last website. What this tab is going to do for you is that every time you take an exam and you pass, the score will be placed in that eligibilities tab, so you can keep track of the exams that you've taken and passed, when you have eligibility and when your eligibility expires, as well as your ranking. So you'll be able to know that what your rank is and see when it's going to expire, so you can retake that exam once it does expire, so you can maintain eligibility. The third tab is your jobs tab. But before I go to the jobs tab, I'm sorry. On the eligibilities tab, I just wanted to make sure you guys are aware. If you take an online exam today, you can take the online exam today, get your score today, and start applying today. Once you take that exam, the score is going to show up. You're done. You should save a copy of that on your desktop just until your exam score does populate under your eligibilities tab. Online exams take about 72 hours for your score to reflect in your account. If you take a written exam, you'll get notification on when it should be in your account when you're leaving the written examination. So I just want to make sure you're aware of that, because sometimes when I say this, if I don't cover that area, you'll take an exam today and then you'll start calling and say, well, the gentleman said it was going to go into my eligibilities tab, and it will. It just takes 72 business hours for it to happen. But you don't have to wait those 72 hours to apply for positions. Go ahead and start proceeding applying for positions. So now the third tab, which is the jobs tab, another great feature. Our prior website, 95+% of the positions that you apply for, we're going to require you to send the application through the mail. The hard part about that is that, regular mail, sometimes it gets lost, it doesn't show up on time, or it gets, it shows up later. There's just a lot of things that can happen with regular mail, and there's really no real true way to track that. So what we did was we thought, well, if we have an electronic process and you submit electronic applications for a position on your CalCareer account, every time you do it, it's going to track it, and it will save right there, and you can see underneath the jobs tab, it says show all job applications. It will keep track of all job applications, the day you submitted them, the status of it being submitted, and as well as the application number. So if you have to call a department to check status of your application, and they say, well, I don't see an application, you can always click on your jobs tab, look at the job you applied for, let them know I applied for this job on this date, it shows submitted, and it says my application number was whatever it is. They should be able to locate it that way, and that avoids the we didn't receive it. The fourth tab is your message tab, and under your messages tab, we use that to correspond with you. So our departments will correspond with you through your messages tab. So if you haven't already done so, creating a CalCareer account, when you do, part of the creating a CalCareer account is an email address that's going to be required. The reason why we do that is so we can correspond with you. We will send an email to you letting you know that you have a message in your CalCareer account and to go check it. When you get that message, please check that message as quickly as possible, because it may be that you're getting an inquiry letter in that messages box, and you'll need to make sure you tend to that quickly, because they all generally have a final filing date to where you can respond to that inquiry letter. So definitely get into there. If you see you have a message, and check it quickly so you can get your opportunities and be able to submit an application for that particular position. That's not all we use the messages tab for, but a large majority of the time you're going to see inquiry letters in your messages tab. The last tab is your e-notify tab, and the e-notify tab is a really, really great feature, because once you take and pass an exam, then you can click on that e-notify tab, select the classification that you want to be notified for. So say, for instance, you took an office technician exam and passed. You go ahead and click on e-notify, select job posting, office technician. You can select a department or a location, or however you wanted to search. I would encourage you to select at least the classification, like say office technician, and a location. I'm in Sacramento, so I would say Sacramento. That way you'll get notified for that position in the area that you're interested in, and not statewide, because you're not all going to be interested in all geographic locations. So it's a nice feature, because that way you don't have to log on to our website every day and search for jobs. This e-notify will do it for you. It will let you know the position you're interested in is online, and for you to go check it out. So that's what's going to be listed underneath your name. Now on the right-hand side of the page, I'd like you to look over at, this is going to be on any page that you're on the CalCareer website or jobs.ca.gov CalCareer account. On the right-hand side is where you're going to get information or things that you can do. So always look at the right-hand side of the page. This particular one you can change at the very top. You see you can change your account password and your security information here. You can also update your contact information, so you can change your phone numbers, you can change your email address, anything that you'd like there you can change. And you can update it, and it updates on the spot, so you can do that yourself. Just keep in mind that you always want to make sure that your information is accurate. And just one other piece, when you're in the update my contact information link, there's going to be a spot where you can put your phone number. Most of us nowadays don't have home phones anymore, and what ends up happening is when you click on that, it says, how do you want it in preference? This is my phone number, this is how I'd like to be contacted. Preference 1, you put the phone number in and you select the type of phone it is. For the meantime, until the website is updated, please select either work or home, and do not select cell phone, just work or home, because cell phone is not an option on the actual application. So if you put your phone number in and you select cell phone, it will not populate on your application when you print it. It needs to be selected home or work. I know it may be your cell phone number, but in order for you to get it to populate an application, please select work or home. That's a temporary workaround. We're in the process of getting that corrected, but I just wanted to bring it to your attention because if you submit an application that has no phone number, we're going to have a hard time contacting you. So at the very bottom of the screen under special records here, you'll see vet record, LEAP record, proficiencies, and transfer exams. Once you submit your CalHR 1093 and your DD-214 showing that you've been honorably discharged and we process your paperwork, you're going to see right here under vet record, it'll say on file versus NA. So you want to look at that. That's one way you can see that's been processed by us before you have to call to check. You're welcome to call, but this is, if it says on file, it's there. And another process thing I wanted to bring to your attention is that in your contact information, you will have to include your Social Security number for Veterans Preference. And it does say that when you're signing up on the right-hand side of the screen. But just keep that in mind. That's how we associate the exams that you've taken with your CalCareer account, is by your social to give you your Veterans Preference. So step 2, you're going to need to take an exam. This is what the screen looks like when you're going to search for exams, at least one of the areas that you can search for exams. But before we get too far into that, I wanted to touch base with you because we have several different types of exams. What I'd like for you guys to be focused on right now is the open or open non-promotional exams, or open continuous testing year-round, and then there's open spot testing. This is a very important one. They're all important, but this one's what I want to point out to you, is that spot testing, if you see an exam and the bulletin says spot testing, and it's in Fresno, the spot testing's in Fresno. If the testing's in Fresno and the job is in Fresno. If it says spot testing, it's in San Diego, the exam's in San Diego, and the job is in San Diego. So always pay attention when you see spot testing, because spot testing is going to be, that's where the job's at. So unless you're interested in working in that area, I would be cautious about applying or taking spot testing examinations. We also have promotional examinations. And promotional examinations are generally for employees who are currently working for the department, or current or former employees of the legislature for 2 or more years, or current or former non-elected exempt employees of the executive branch for 2 or more consecutive years. More importantly for today's presentation, this is what's going to stand out for us, and that's veterans. So veterans who have been honorably discharged from the United States military can also apply for promotional exams. So as a honorably discharged vet, you don't have to be an employee of the department to take promotional exams as long as you have your DD-214 honorably discharged in the CalHR 1093 and it's recorded. You can request that you be given access to the promotional exams. So just keep that in mind, because that's definitely a benefit. Also, another benefit is effective January 1st of 2016, the California Wounded Warriors Transitional Leave Act is established. This is a act that was established for military service-connected disabilities of 30% or more. So if you have a 30% or more service-connected disability, make sure that you relay that information to the department that hires you on your first day of work, or even during your interview if you wanted to, but definitely on the first day of hire, because you are eligible for up to 96 hours of paid leave for medical treatments or military service-related disability appointments. We're doing this so that when the transition from from being a veteran to state service, you don't miss any money. You're not having to utilize any time that you haven't accrued yet. So this 96 hours could really pay off for you. So definitely mention that to the hiring department that hires you if you have a 30% or more service-connected disability. Okay, as of January 1st, 2014, any veteran who participates in an examination and scores a minimum required score of 70%, that's our required score of passing score, you will be placed in the top rank of the resulting eligibility list. So, an example, if you took an office technician exam and you got a score of 70, which is the minimum required score to pass, if you weren't a veteran, you'll be ranked accordingly, anywhere between ranks 1 and let's just say 10. With the score of 70, you'll probably be in the lowest rank, I should say. As a veteran with veterans preference, if you take that same exam, score of 70, you pass the exam, you will still be in rank 1. So you will move to rank 1 as long as you have a passing score. A large majority of our exams that we offer do accept veterans preference. Definitely read the bulletin to make sure that the exam you're taking accepts veterans preference. Like I said, majority of them do, so I don't think it's going to be a problem. Also, just to keep in mind, if you're a veteran and you're 100% disabled, then your spouse can use your veterans preference. They can take exams, and when they get their scores, as long as they make a passing score of 70%, they'll be in rank 1. Also, if you are a widower of a veteran, you can also still qualify for the Veterans Preference Program. So it's definitely something to look into. It's a great program, and veterans always have preference. Just another quick example, if I'm not a veteran, if you are and you took the same exam I took, and we both scored 95, which is the best achievable score you can score on any exam, once we did that, just picture 2 rank 1s. I would be in rank 1 beneath you, and the veteran would be in the rank 1 above me. Veterans always have preference. So this is the CalHR 1093. You can also locate this on our website. There's a link underneath it as well, but you will need to submit the CalHR 1093 along with your DD-214 indicating your character of service, honorably discharged, or whatever the discharge was. And if you have a service-connected disability and you have the paper from the Veterans Affairs Department, please include that as well. Another thing to keep in mind is that, just to not delay the process, is if for some reason you were in the military and you end up getting married, once you get married, when you submit this paperwork, submit the CalHR 1093, your DD-214, Veterans Affairs paperwork if you have a service-connected disability of over 30%, as well as your marriage certificate, so that we don't send a letter out to you delaying your processing of your paperwork. We have the paperwork that indicates that what your previous last name was and what your current new last name is. That'll help speed up the process and not get a letter going out to you to provide that information to us. So we have different types of examination methods. One of our examination methods is a supplemental application. So basically, you'll go onto the bulletin. The bulletin will say, submit your CalHR STD 678, which is our application, along with the supplemental application that will be a link there attached to it. You'll need to complete both and send it to wherever they're asking you to send it. We also have written examinations. Those written tests are tests that you will have to schedule yourself for when they're available to take. They're not always available, but you can monitor the website to see when they're available. Make sure when you schedule yourself for a written exam that you are scheduling yourself for an exam that you can actually make. And the reason why I'm saying that is because sometimes self-scheduling will open and individuals have been waiting a long time for it. We'll continue to use office technician as an example. That particular exam is very competitive. I can open that exam with seats of about 900, and I can open and close that. 900 seats will be filled in less than 5 minutes. It's very, very competitive, so if you're going to try to schedule yourself a written exam, make sure that you read the bulletin, that you're on the link to self-schedule, and you're ready to click on that link exactly as the web indicates to and the exact time it says to do so. I would encourage you to use a desktop computer with Internet Explorer to get the best performance out of our system. I would not try to self-schedule yourself on a tablet or a cell phone. If you're successful at scheduling yourself for a written examination, you will receive what's called a notice to appear when you're done. So you will know if you're successful if you receive a notice to appear. You'll need to print 2 copies of the notice to appear and bring them with you along with your valid picture ID to the exam so you can be admitted to the examination. We also, before I move forward, if you schedule yourself for a written exam and you do not show up, you will be locked out of that examination and unable to reschedule for 6 weeks from the date that you missed. So 6 weeks from the actual test date that you missed. So really, really try not to schedule yourself something for an examination that you can't attend. Make sure you do that. So the next one is your qualifications appraisal interview, and that's going to be where you'll be interviewed in front of a panel. They'll have questions, and after the interview, they will come up with a cumulative score based on your answers that you give to the panel. You also have a performance examination. If you say you can do heavy equipment, we want to make sure that we test you on that heavy equipment before we give you the keys to that heavy equipment. Also, we have education experience evaluation. The education experience evaluation is just going to be the standard 678. And then we have your online examinations. We have over 170 online examinations that you can take today, provided you meet the minimum qualifications, receive your score today, and start applying today. Another thing with that said is I would encourage you to always try and take every exam that you meet the minimum qualifications for. It may not be your dream job, but get your foot in the door with the state is what you want to do. So it just increases your exposure. The more tests you take, the more opportunity you have at gaining employment. We also have a LEAP program. LEAP is our limited examination appointment program. That program is designed for individuals with disabilities. If you feel like you're interested in this program, all you would need to do is go to your doctor, get a letter from your doctor on your doctor's letterhead indicating one or more major life functions that's being affected by your disability, and take it to your local Department of Rehabilitation to be reviewed. They will review that on the spot and let you know whether you meet the qualifications or not. If you do, they'll send the paperwork to us. We will process it, and once you receive it, you'll have access to taking LEAP examinations. They're readiness evaluations, actually. And once you take them, you get your score, and you can start applying. LEAP is a really good program because there's several exams like the office technician, office assistant, office assistant, motor vehicle representative, custodian, staff service analyst, there's 10 exams that you can take. These exams are generally self-scheduling exams, so you'd have to wait. So like office technician, office assistant, you have to wait until they're available before you can schedule. If you're LEAP, you can take that online. It's a readiness evaluation, so you don't have to wait. It's a really good opportunity. There's 2 parts to LEAP, though. Once you gain employment under LEAP, you'll be on JEP, which will be a job evaluation performance for 60 days. Every 30 days, you'll receive a coaching counseling from your manager at your department. They'll let you know where you're at in your first 30 days, and at the 60-day mark, they'll let you know whether that you are ready to move on to permanent state employment probation, or if they want to extend your JEP to get you up to par before they pull you on to permanent probation with the state, or they can choose at that point to just terminate the agreement at that time if you did not meet the qualifications or the expectations of that manager. So there's several different ways. You won't be in the dark with this, though. You will be given clear information as you start, and you will know because you'll be meeting with your manager on every 30 days until you start, until they make a decision whether they're going to move you to permanent status probation. So how to find an examination. There's several different ways that you can apply to it. Give me 1 second. Okay, so how to find an examination? There's several different ways you can find an examination. The first box you see underneath the search exams and job vacancy is the job title keyword. You can use your job title keyword box and search for jobs there, or you can, and if you do, when you use the job title keyword box, you need to type it here. So like staff service analyst, check this box and then hit search. If you're not using a specific job title and you're doing a keyword search only, then you will uncheck this box and search by keyword. You can type human resources and search, you can type personnel and search, and so on. But if you're using a specific job title, you type it here. Oh, I apologize. Type it here, check this box, and hit search. There's also other search features like show all, post this week, and post this month. Until you get really savvy with the system, I would just encourage you to use this search criteria. You can also not use a job title or a keyword search and search by just a department if you're interested in a specific department you want to work for. Once you find an exam that you're interested in, so say you typed in staff service analyst, you're going to click on the exam bulletin, read the examination bulletin, read the job specifications, and if you would like more information in preparing for an exam, you can always utilize the state library. We have one here in Sacramento located at 900 N Street. If you're not a state employee, you can still go there. You can make copies and look at the materials they have there, but you won't be able to check the book out. So just wanted to bring that to your attention. Just make sure that you're definitely reading the bulletin. The bulletin is going to give you, I mean, these bulletins are anywhere between 1 and 11 pages long, so there's a lot of information in there. Make sure you read them. Most of our bulletins have preview guides of the test you're going to take. Some of them have study guides. The ones that don't, that's when you might want to look into the state library for additional resources. So again, on your home page of your account, on the right-hand side of the page, you're going to see my application templates. Right beneath that, you'll see all my templates, create template 1, 2, and 3. Those three, create template 1, 2, and 3, are all blank state applications, and they are ready for you to complete so that you can start applying for positions. Because you want to make sure you do this sooner than later, because once you take an exam and pass, you want to start applying for positions. So create that application as soon as you can. The reason why we have 3 there is because you're applying for multiple positions. We don't want you to have to restructure your application each time. However, you should be editing your application for every position according to the job announcement that you're applying for. Right beneath it, you'll see my uploaded documents. A lot of our positions that you apply for will require you to send in a resume, a cover letter, a certificate, statement of qualifications. In order for you to do that, you'll need to save them to your desktop of your computer, then upload them here under My Documents. When you click on that, it tells you that you can have up to 10 documents and they're under 5 MB. So if you have any, and the type of text that it will accept, the format. So make sure you put them there, because you're going to need to put them there in order for you to be able to attach them to your applications. The one right beneath that is your Equal Employment Opportunity form data. We'd like for you, that's not a mandatory form, but we would like you to complete that form. Examination application reminders. Use all relevant paid and volunteer experience. Even if you weren't paid for it, we will still accept that as experience for you. Again, the Equal Employment Opportunity Questionnaire is not mandatory, but we would appreciate you completing it. Sign and date your applications. Electronic applications you will not be signing. You are clicking a button that says you're certifying under the penalty of perjury, you're applying for the position, and submit your applications on time. Most of our positions have a final filing date. Let's just say today was a final filing date and you are going to have to submit this application via mail. As long as it's postmarked today, we'll still accept it. So just make sure that it's postmarked, and then we will still accept that application if it was due today. So after passing the exam, same thing. You're going to go to job title keyword, type the job title you're interested in, check the box, hit search. Once you do that, you're going to be given the vacancies, and the vacancies will load on your screen in increments of 10. The vacancies will, job announcements will look like this. Again, make sure on the right-hand side of the page that you're reading all the information. It tells you how you can apply for this one. This one actually says application method electronically through your CalCareer account. Then you would click this button here to apply. Here's the class specifications I was indicating that you should read for each position. And structure your applications in each application to the job announcement that you have, that you're looking at. So any in the job announcement, any qualifications they're looking for or skill set they're looking for that you have, you want to make sure that you list that in your job duties description of your application. This is general information. If you are an officer or a senior NCO, try applying for career executive assignment CEA positions. These do not require list eligibility. So if you're on our home page, you can scroll to the bottom. There'll be 4 blue circles. One of them is the CEA assignment, where you can look up those positions there. When applying for entry-level positions like office assistant or office technician, you will need to get a typing certificate. There's a link there for you. Just keep this in mind. It needs to be a 5-minute typing certificate. It cannot be done online or at a temporary agency. You'll want to go to a one-stop EDD office, a college, but we do not accept typing certificates that were given online or through a temporary agency. So always read the job duties description, and if there's not a duty statement attached to the job duty description, make sure you reach out to the contact and ask them for a copy of the duty statement. The reason why is because the duty statement gives you percentages of the things that you're going to be doing for that particular position, and it helps you structure your application, because they'll say 40% of the time you'll be doing this, 40% of the time you're doing another thing, and then it moves down to 10s and 5s. Not that the 10s and 5s aren't important, but you want to structure your application to the job duties they're going to require the 40 percentile to get noticed. So make sure that if you don't see a duty statement attached to the job announcement, that you call and request one. They will send it to you. Also take note of the working conditions. You can see the schedule posted there, so you can see what the hours are that you might be working for that position. So in preparing for a hiring interview, study the job announcement, study the duty statement. Always review the departmental website. Make sure you pass that information to anyone you might be helping. It's very important, because that's a question that comes up quite frequently in interviews. If you're interviewing someone and they ask you, well, why do you want to work for Department of Motor Vehicles, and you don't have an answer other than you're just looking for a job, you don't even know what they do at that point, and that shows. So definitely look at the department's website. I try to look at their mission statement. Large majority of mission statements have to do with what their expectations. Customer service is huge, so just a pointer there. Relate your experience, knowledge to the essential duties and desirable qualifications of each job announcement. So again, make sure you're restructuring your application. That's how you're going to get called and for an interview. Also, read all application instructions. Sometimes they ask you to list additional numbers on your application, like an RPA number, or they say you can apply for the position, but you need to do a statement of qualifications and answer these 3 questions along with your application. If you don't read it and you miss it, the application was incomplete. So please make sure that you read them all so that you don't get a letter from us indicating that we need more information from you, or your application won't be accepted. So in summary, what you're going to need to do is create a profile on www.jobs.ca.gov, turn in your Veterans Preference Form, apply for and take an examination, successfully pass the examination, and after doing so, you can apply for the vacancy and then participate in hiring interviews. Here's some resources you might want to write down. If you have any questions after this is over, something that we didn't cover, and you just, after the phone call is over, and you go, man, I wish I would have done that, you can always utilize this email address right here, calcareer@calhr.ca.gov. That's our Cal Career Services exam unit. We have our staff there 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday answering these emails. Our phone lines are on 9 to 4 as well. We have staff here anywhere between 7 a.m. and 5 p.m. at night, but the the phone lines themselves will only be on from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. But you can always email your question. If it's a question about a user ID or password, just call the 866 number. We will not send user ID or password information over an email, but we'd be more than happy to assist you on how to navigate, find something, answer any questions that you may have in regards to the jobs.ca.gov website. So this is a great resource to utilize. We also have the other ones that you want to save jobs.ca.gov as a favorite on your desktop today when you go home and create an account. That's too fast. Additional resources here, you have the Calvet, EDD, CalGuard, and you can jot down that information there as well. I believe this is going to be recorded and also sent out to you, so you can take that down and have that for your resources. We also have a CalHR Job Center. It's located at 1810 16th Street. That is also available to the public between the hours of 9 and 4, Monday through Friday. We have a staff member down there from our exams unit that will assist you. We have computers that you can use, printing, everything you need is available for you at the Job Center. And we also have our analysts that are here in the building. So in the event there's a question that we can't answer, we can always go upstairs and try to get that answer for you while you're here. So again, it's 1810 16th Street, and the hours of operations are Monday through Friday between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. Additional information, if you decide to take an analyst route, please check out CalHR's website on what it takes to be a successful analyst and the links below. Also, review degree and state job equivalents PDF and the tutorials for job seekers with the link there below as well. Now we're going to open up for questions. I'm sorry I ran over just a few minutes. I apologize, but I hope that I relayed good information to you and that you all have a little bit more navigating skills than you did when we first started. So any questions, we'll be ready for them.
Danny, this is Lindsay at Calvet. Thank you so much for your great presentation. Julene and I learned a ton about state service and then the application process that we didn't even realize. We did want to, yeah, I'm gonna turn the presenter role back over to me because I wanted to share those last couple of links that we gave to show people what the equivalent degree and education level goes, what job that goes to, and then we'll open it up for some questions.
Absolutely, thank you.
Yeah, so there's these really great PDFs that look like this, so hopefully everyone can see that. So if you have a high school graduate diploma, you can see what jobs you might qualify for with state service, and then there's one for if you have 2 years of college, what jobs you might qualify for, in addition to if you have a 4-year bachelor's degree. So these are good to look at. It just kind of gives you an idea of the robust amount of job positions and levels that may be available, and can kind of help people realize that they may want to apply for a higher position than they previously thought based on their qualifications with their education level and then, of course, with their military service. So, Danny, one question to you really quick before everybody gets a chance to ask questions. Does CalHR have a military translator, jobs translator, careers translator? I think it was there. Did CalHR produce a military jobs translator?
You know what, I would have to check with Brandon on that. He does our coordinating for that. Yeah. He does all the coordinating for our presentations, but I can definitely follow up with him and ask on that. But before we move off this slide that you're on here, I did want to, I'm glad that you brought this up. I didn't know that you had this available to bring up. Just wanted to bring up to the group, let you guys know this is a great resource to utilize because state service job titles don't match the private sector. So if you're looking for a position, this is a great way to find position title names when you're looking at it based on your education because, again, they're not in line with the private sector. Another thing I want to touch on is that a lot of times when I do these seminars, I'll hand all these flyers out, and I get a lot of people that'll hand back the bachelor's degree. Though I don't have a bachelor's degree, I don't need this. Please don't cut yourself short. All of our positions have minimum qualifications, and as long as you meet the minimum qualifications, you can apply to take the examination. Why I'm saying that is because, like Staff Service Manager 1, for instance, that requires a bachelor's degree. But you can, for experience, you can replace experience in lieu of the bachelor's degree. So you don't necessarily have to have a bachelor's degree if you have the 4 years of experience. That will gain you entrance to that examination. So always read the minimum qualifications because, yes, absolutely, you can come into state service at a higher classification with a higher pay, and I know that's what we all want.
Great, thank you. Okay, do we have any questions from our participants at this time? Does anyone want to ask a question via phone or chat?
I actually have a really quick question. That was a really good presentation, Danny. I appreciate it. I learned a lot. I really did. But I do have a quick question because I applied for a position for the very first time maybe a month and some change ago, and without having any of the knowledge that you just relayed to the audience here, and I'm looking actually at the job announcement right now. It doesn't have the the breakdown of this is what you'll be doing 40% of the time, 10% advice, etc. But then B, it doesn't say anything about taking an exam. In fact, I've already received a letter back indicating that they've accepted the application and that they're waiting for scheduling for the, I forget what the name of the exam was or the interview. I forget what it was called, but it said basically in essence, wait to hear back from us before you get more information about the actual exam or the interview.
Right. So there's
So
going to be
go back and take an exam now after the fact, or?
It just depends. Like, so again, when you're reading the bulletin, sometimes they're going to ask you to send an application along with a supplemental application. What they'll do is they'll review that documentation you provide them. If you meet the minimum qualifications, they'll either score you off of that or they will invite you to an exam. So it sounds like this particular one, you've met the minimum qualifications. They're going to invite you to the exam when they're going to offer it. And generally on that bulletin, you'll see when the estimated dates or a set date there. But yeah, they're all different. That's why it's very important to read the bulletin so that you know exactly how you're going to get this exam taken.
Okay, perfect. So I don't think I missed out in this case. I think it's just, as the letter indicates, that they'll hear back once all the scheduling is done.
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wonderful. Any more questions for Danny or for us? So Danny, I have a couple questions for you before we wrap up.
Sure.
In terms of these CalHR workshops specifically for our military veterans and service members and family, where can people get basically the equivalent presentation either on the web, aside from our webinar recording, or in person, so that if they have other veterans they want to direct to take your workshop or seminar, where can that be done?
Okay, can you see my screen now?
No, let me pass it over to you. Once I figure out how to do that. Hold on. Okay. Okay, it should be turning over to you right now.
There we go.
There you go.
Okay, so can you see the screen now?
Yes.
Okay, so basically when you're on your account, you can hover over the Job Seekers tab. Don't click on it, just hover over it. And then once you hover over it, move your cursor over to the, it's playing with me, to the seminars. And then you can click on seminars. If anyone on the call today or anybody that knows someone that wants to participate, you can participate in our seminars. As you scroll down here, you'll see we have we have the state civil service hiring process and LEAP. And then the dates are listed there for the rest of the year. That's every second Tuesday, except for one. It was a one-off. We had to do something different. Well, that's in the veterans one. But as you scroll down, you'll see the veterans one here, and that's the one. Oh, it hasn't changed yet. There's going to be one that's going to change. Anyways, we do this at the Department of Veterans Affairs Medal of Honor at 1227 O Street in Sacramento from 12 to 1. You don't have to sign up. You can just show up. It's first come, first serve. Generally always have room. It's a great seminar. It takes about an hour long. We have a lot of handouts that we provide to the participants. And also at that point, I also relay information if we have any workshops that are coming up for like maybe somebody that's a little bit more used to using the website and they want some tips that make it faster. So just workshops on how to navigate and what's coming, what's new, different things like that. But this is where you'll find our military service related seminars.
Oh, thank you very much. And then people, for those of you that may not be located in the Sacramento area, also refer folks to this webinar, and this will have the main information with contact information for us and for CalHR. We'll have this webinar up on our website within a couple of days. So just check back to our Women Vets page, Around California tab, and then statewide monthly webinars tab after that. And you can also contact us to get more information. Wonderful. So I just can't express to folks on the phone who are both job seekers and probably some folks helping veterans find jobs how great state service is for those of us that have served in the military or even family-connected military members. I mean, there's just the LEAP program is incredible. There's leave for medical disability. There's even leave to care for your veteran family member if they're suffering from a service-connected disability and you need to care for them. There's a law in place that helps you do that and protects your job rights for that. There's obviously paid family leave and the FMLA program for what you might need it for: birth of a child, adoption of a child, caring for a loved one, and then leave for military service if you're still in the military, in the National Guard or active duty. And then you can also buy back retirement from your military service with CalPERS, which is the retirement program for most state civil service positions. And so you can even look into doing that and using some of your federal military service to actually increase your retirement amount. So that's pretty incredible stuff. So really great opportunities here at the state. Lots of different jobs that you can take, lots of different opportunities to move to different departments, to promote. I'm really happy with working in the state so far. I think Jolene is too. Just keep a couple things in mind when you get to the interview stage. It's really, really important that not only have you tailored your resume and your application to the job qualifications and specifics, and that's especially true if you're looking at a non-exam job like a CEA position, where you really have to submit a statement of qualifications. Tie your statement of qualifications to the actual job description, so the desired qualifications and the minimum qualifications of the job announcement. Tailor your statement of qualifications to read a lot like that, so you're actually addressing each of those qualifications within that statement. And then keep in mind when you get to the interview level and you're called in for an interview, you know, I've sat on many interviewing panels here at this department. I've hired staff, and personality and your willingness to learn and your enthusiasm for the job and your eagerness to do it goes a long way. And I think that's going to be true. You know, show that kind of enthusiasm whether you're getting your foot in the door with state service and it's not your ideal job, or whether you're interviewing for your dream job, because that really translates very well for how you do in the interview. So we've certainly seen great background, great. Somebody can have really great experience, but you know, definitely enthusiasm and attitude goes a long way too. So keep that in mind. So I think that's all I have to add to this discussion. I don't know if Jolene had anything to add. I think we're good. So if you have any questions for us here at Calvet, whether it's about getting in touch with Danny or jobs information we can give you, or anything else about your benefits that you may have available to you as a veteran here in California, then give us a call. It's calvet.ca.gov is our website, and the phone number here at our Women Vets Division is 916-653-1402, and we can put you in touch with anybody else in the department that you may need to talk to, even if it's not women specific. So thank you everyone so much for attending. We want to keep respectful of your time here, so we're going to end this session in a second. Keep in mind our next call will be September 12th, Monday at 11 a.m. We're going to be covering financial resiliency, financial intelligence, and at 10 a.m. The call is September 12th, Monday at 10 a.m. I apologize. And we're going to talk about financial literacy and basically how to make your dollar stretch as far as possible. And so you'll see this webinar posted in a little bit, in a couple days, if you have any questions. Thanks so much again to CalHR, to Danny, and to Linnea for participating. We really, really appreciate your time, guys, and appreciate that CalHR puts on these great workshops. So take care, everyone. I hope you have a great week, and we'll see you in September.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.